I took audio from my dad came to the hospital on the first day I was born and brought the video camera filming and everyone talking. Like there's like a line in there that's like, oh man, his head is huge. Like it's just
It's
like
not even
roasting
it's,
me day one.
it's not even like loving sentiments. They're just like frying their
Absolutely.
newborn, like his little big feet and everything.
Yeah.
Today on Loves Music, I interview Matt Fell, another Philly native with immense talent. I discovered Matt Fell when I listened to his album Flashbulb Memories. Blends sounds of pop, rock, even a little bit of synth. It was an absolute masterpiece and I really enjoyed it. Come to find out, he actually scored another movie called I Think I'm Sick and had a recent release entitled Living a Lie. His catalog is great, his talent is undeniable, the conversation was great, and I really think you're gonna enjoy it. Come on. Matt, thanks for joining me, man. I'm so happy to have you.
Dude, thank you for having me. I am really excited to chat with you.
Yeah, man. Well, first off, your content is so fun. And I didn't even know you were a Philly native until like I spoke to you. I'm like, so man, where you're from? You're like, yeah, dude, Philly, like 20 minutes away.
Philly. Dude, wait, where are you? Like
Abington.
What neighborhood? You're in Abington?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm in Chestnut Hill.
Yeah, like 15 minutes, maybe 15 minutes.
Dude.
Yeah. I've never ran into each other, never been at like a yeah. So we got to fix that, man. I got to come see you play. But no, dude, your catalog's great. I guess you were promoting the newer single Living a Lie. Solid tune, kind of like a synthy, softer rock tune. I really like it, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I think it's definitely I was playing around more with synths lately, and this song I kind of had like for a while in my back pocket. I used to play in a band, and I brought it to that band, and I was like, this is not really sounding how I want it to sound, or like how I imagined it in my head. And then that band ended, and I just kind of came back to it, and with this new synth sound, and it worked.
Nice.
And changed up the words, and it's about kind of, you know, that one friend that we all have on social media that's like totally different on social media than they are in real life.
Correct.
Yeah.
We all have that.
We know that. Yeah. We know that person. So it's about that, basically saying like, hey, like this is not you, and you're just playing this game and you're losing. And ironically, if you were probably just yourself,
yeah,
you'd be winning.
You'd probably fare a lot better, huh? If you were just yourself. Yeah. Well, here's the thing with playing devil's advocate. Social media does give you the opportunity to promote selective reality or tailored reality. So who are we to be like, we're on social media, this is you? Like, it's not, it'd be different if it was like a job interview and it's like, look, we're gonna have to work together for the next 3 years. Tell me, like, I need to see the real. But it's kind of is your opportunity to kind of reinvent yourself. So no, so I see, I mean, that's a pretty cool concept. I can get behind that. What I really enjoyed was the full length LP that you had. That one was called Flashbulb Memories. I thought it came out like this year. I didn't realize it was from 2022. Like it sounds current.
It is, yeah, dude. I put it out, and it was definitely like a personal project, right? Like, so I didn't really promote it. I didn't really like push it out anywhere. I kind of shared it with friends and family online, and you know, I ended up playing it live a couple times. I opened for Michigander and Marielle Kraft down at the Foundry.
It's a nice name drop. Michigander is solid. That's like a good band. They played a man, and I mean they played bigger venues.
Let me tell you, Jason from Michigander is the coolest person you'll ever meet, and everyone should listen to his newest album. It's really good. But yeah, no, it was really cool playing that live, and I think once I played those songs live, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to do this a little bit and see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, vocally, you sound like, do you know who Samir Gadia is? The lead singer from Young the Giant?
Yeah.
So you have like that kind of like softer tone, but it's still piercing, decent range. I mean, what you're doing vocally on that album is really special. Who is playing the percussion on that album?
So it depends on the song.
Okay, so the Holding On and Wild Soul.
That's my guy. So the whole album itself,
okay,
I made it, me and my friend Matt Weber.
Okay.
We're doing everything on it. Matt Weber is, if it's drums, it's Matt Weber.
Okay.
He plays with me live. An incredible engineer over at Gradwell House Studios in Haddon Heights, and he's currently working on I don't know if you know Sweet Pill by any chance. They're kind of like a punk hardcore kind of band coming up right now.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, they're good, man. Okay. They're like one of these trajectory things where I'm like, oh, this is real. Mm-hmm.
Well, so talk to me about the album, because I feel like we're kindred spirits in that, like, I literally make albums for like my friends and family. And everyone's like, dude, you didn't promote this album? I'm like, well, no, like I did my record release party, performed the songs like twice, and I just buried myself back in the studio. Take me through the mindset of that, because the album's incredible. It's not like this weird avant-garde album that sounds like you just made it for yourself. It has pop appeal. It's qualitative. It's sonically qualitative. It sounds like an adult top 40 album. So and I don't mean adult as in old. It just sounds timeless. Like it could be, there could be a Billy Joel record on there. There could be a Springsteen record, but there could also be a Timberlake record on there, you know, or Bieber, you know, like you have hits floating around on that album. So why the hesitancy to promote it?
I really struggle with being an artist.
Okay.
Right. And saying like, hey, I'm the artist.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the club.
Right. Like, this is what this podcast is about.
You and all my guests.
Yeah. Right. And we all go through this journey where it's like, we want to get comfortable, like sharing something that's super personal and vulnerable. And this felt, you know, I put out music in the past with bands, and you can kind of hide a little bit behind the band, still be vulnerable, but it's not as embarrassing because it's like, oh, well, like maybe that was like the guitarist situation, you know? You can hide behind your band members a little bit. This one, I couldn't.
Yeah.
And it's a very, you know, from start to finish, very personal album. Like Flashbulb Memories, the concept is, you know, it's a study of flashbulb memories. Is your memory is just not good. It's not a reliable source.
It's subjective, right? It's selective, like we were talking about before. Yeah.
So like they did this whole study with like 9/11, where it's like every few years they'd interview these same people of like, what was that day like? What did you do that day? And every year it changed, right? Like, and it was a different set of events. So I kind of took that concept. I was like, okay, well, like, this is what I think my childhood and upbringing was like, but what was it actually like?
Okay.
And I was making it during this time where I was also digitizing all my family's home videos.
Okay.
And like the intro track, where it's like an instrumental piece, it's actually, I took audio from my dad came to the hospital on the first day I was born and brought the video camera filming and everyone talking about that. And it's like, it was just like a really weird moment for me to be like, whoa, like they're talking about me and this is like day one. Like, this is what they're saying.
Yeah.
And like there's like a line in there that's like, oh man, his head is huge. Like, it's like not even, roasting me day one.
It's not even like loving sentiment. They're just like frying their newborn, like his little big feet and everything.
Yeah. But it was just like, it was so cool
to
see that. And then like see my grandmother had passed and to see her, what she was like, oh, he's so strong. He's got your eyes and he's got dimples, which I still have to this day. And I think it was just like that whole concept I brought to every song. You know, like Holding On was written based off of a old journal I found from middle school. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Dude, so the song Coffee, right? I didn't know if coffee is a metaphor for something else, or were you literally just talking about coffee in that song?
I think it's a metaphor. I think at first I was like, oh, this is
Like, because either way it would be clever, right? You like literally wrote like an ode to coffee, and I was like, oh, that's neat. And I was like, it doesn't sound like you talk about coffee. What's
it
her
is
name?
like
No, I'm playing.
it is like there is like a substance reliance that runs in my family.
Okay.
And I think mine I figured out pretty early on like what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
Like I don't drink, I
Okay.
don't take because I figured out, hey, I can't do this. I can't control
Right.
it.
Yeah.
You
have no middle gears. It's just pedal to the floor or none.
It was pedal to the metal because it was like, I mean, I think we were at some point. I think everyone's a little pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It just kind of got to the point where I was like, I can't. Like college is over, buddy.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Like I'm a grown man.
Yeah. Like I have to get up tomorrow morning. I can do stuff. So I think that song was like right now, like obviously my vice is coffee. I have one right here. It's 5:30 p.m.
Yeah.
And I am still drinking coffee.
That's I mean, you could have worse vices though. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that song was just like about that and like kind of finding your identity. Like, what's your identity without that substance?
Now that's scary. You know, the people that have to like operate in the fog, like you almost have to like dull your senses to cope with just the day to day.
It's tough. And I think like I was diagnosed ADHD pretty late in life. This is kind of the digression, but there is like, you take your medication for depression and anxiety and all this stuff. Other people use alcohol and other types of drugs to do the same kind of effect. And you do kind of feel like, is this truly me? Like, is this medicine making me someone else?
Yeah.
Like, am I nothing without this medicine? Am I nothing without this? When I go out to parties, am I nothing without this glass of alcohol in my hand? Like, is this what makes me interesting?
Yeah.
As a person? And it's a struggle, but you're an interesting person regardless of those things. And I think there a lot of people fall into that pressure of like, I need this to perform.
That's the truth, right? You're special, you have value, you have something to offer, you have something to bring. The lie or the perpetuating lie is that I'm only fun with this in my system. I only look good once I've loosened up. I have to loosen up to be funny. I'm only funny once I've had a few, I'm only cool once I've, so, and that's the lie you perpetuate,
Mm-hmm. And so it's just a never ending kind of like, it's tiring.
Right.
To keep doing that. And it's like, in that song, it's like, there's that bridge where it's like, I'm running and I'm just trying to get as far away from like my true identity as possible. And I'm exhausted. I'm tired. And it's like the friends that I've made, like I'm worried I'm going to lose them because if I stop doing this.
Yeah.
And the truth is you should probably lose this. Friends.
Right. Well, here's the thing. And I heard Chris Williamson was just talking about this. And he said, the people that love you, right, will only love you for two reasons. One, because of who you are, or two, because of what you can provide. And then our goal is to identify which one they are. Now, the hypocrisy of that is, do we love ourselves because of what we can do or because of who we are? So on one hand, you're trying to, I don't like who I am. Therefore, I'm going to subsidize with acts and deeds and giving things away. And therefore, you then attract people that only love you because of what you do and not who you are. So it's this weird cycle,
I'm about to cry. That's so spot on. And I think, are you valuable just being yourself, or are you valuable because you're doing all this stuff for other people? And
yeah, It's like it's the cheesiness of believing in yourself, but it really is that. Like I'm enough as I am. And even if I'm not enough for like this group, like my tribe will eventually present itself, you know? So you have to be willing to be alone. You have to be willing to be weird, you know, until you are like indoctrinated by like your people. And eventually you find your people, you know?
Yeah. And that takes time and patience.
Yeah.
And it takes also like rejection as well, which is a tough pill for all of us to swallow.
Who wants to be rejected? Who wants to not be wanted?
I mean, yeah, I can't. You're a sicko if you're into that.
Yeah, right.
Of course, like we're doing stuff where it's like, we're asking for it,
right? Yeah, we're like, we're cutting ourselves open in public.
Yeah, we're just like getting up on stage and being like, "Please reject me."
Yeah, right.
Please.
Well, the reluctance to present the music now makes more sense. You know.
Yeah.
You know, because from the outside looking in, it just sounds like great music. Like, why wouldn't you post this everywhere? You know. But it's like, but if you're like, well, no, like it's like I'm standing up here naked. I don't. It's not for you. You know.
And I think it's just taken time for me to work through that, you know, it's taken 2 years for me to be like, this should be shared because I wish I heard this earlier, you know, and hopefully I'm not afraid to be rejected now.
Here's a question. Are you more about sharing a new project that represents who you are today? Or do you still think there's life in that previous project from 2022 that you'd like to share?
I think there's still a lot of life in that project. I think you know, like I've found a lot of the themes for these songs in old relics of my past. And I was like, oh, this is still happening. Like literally reading that journal from middle school, I'm like, oh, buddy, that's the same thing. Like it's literally verbatim what we're talking about of being afraid to be seen, afraid to be like not seen as valuable to someone and wanting to be loved in a way. And I don't think younger Matt felt that, even though I think there was a lot of love there. I think I just wasn't like in a place even to accept it and there's still a lot of love that I have today that I've gotten better at accepting.
Can you actually go into that? Like what was your family structure like between growing up to now to the stages of your creative development?
Yeah, I had so I had mom and dad, two older sisters that set the bar really high as far as like straight A's, involved in everything, music, sports, and excelled in all of that. So the bar was pretty high.
Right, yeah. So you're like excellence. That's where the negotiating starts. I have to be excellent.
Yeah, like I have to be that level. Like when I would come home with like B's and C's, I'd get grounded. I'd get in trouble. And that was tough, right? Like I didn't know I had ADHD at the time. I also have like a degenerative hearing loss. So like I don't
we're going to definitely unpack. I don't know how you make music like you do with degenerative hearing loss.
I'll say this. My hearing loss is my unfair advantage when it comes to making music.
Explain.
Because growing up, the way my hearing loss works is like if you picture an equalizer, right, and the frequencies, it kind of goes like lows pretty fine, and then like mid range completely cut out, and then like comes up a little bit for the high. I think growing up, I listened to like Bruce Springsteen and like all these other where there's like a lot happening in these productions.
But I'm 15 people on the stage.
Like there's so many parts happening all at once. I think it cut out a lot of parts where I could hear like, oh, that's a saxophone over there, and that's like this guitar line over here. It also like makes me pay attention more and be more thoughtful of like what I'm putting into the song and the sound that I want, right?
So when you sing, is the sound you're hearing true, or are you tricking yourself? You'd be like, I'm making the sound. I know that I'm making the sound in my mouth, but the sound that I hear isn't that sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to a degree, I think all singers kind of have a little bit of that. I think I practice every day. Like it to probably like a psychopathic degree.
Okay.
Um,
Nothing wrong with being obsessed with your art, man.
yeah, right.
Let's go.
But I go off of feel.
Okay.
And I am typically wearing in monitors that are blasting my vocals back at me. But yeah, like I think that's another thing too, where I think my vocal tone, it's kind of weird. Like, like you look at me, I'm 6'2". You would think I'd have like a pretty pretty low manly voice, and it's pretty nerdy and
it's cool. It's interesting. Like the new single, you're kind of doing like a Ben Gibbard thing, but then on the first record, you sound like Samir from Young the Giant.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, you definitely have range, and it's like, as difficulty level goes, pretty high stuff to sing. Like you're not one of those people that just sings like a step above where you talk. So you just kind of like phone it in on the verses, and then you're just dynamic and you pick your spots. Like your songs are difficult to sing.
Yeah, let me tell you. Sometimes I'll be up there and I'll be like,
no shit, they're difficult to
why
sing.
did I do this? But it is cool because it's like I think I put that flag there because I was like, I want to be able to like do this flawlessly every time. And I don't want to be able to only sing this on a good day. So I'm pushing technique hardcore. I'm trying to like sing Police and Michael Jackson tunes in my practice to like figure out the mix, belt, voice.
Yeah.
And now all my songs are so easy to sing.
Yeah.
You know? And but yeah, I definitely worked on that. It wasn't something that like naturally like you just open your mouth and like it was good. I started singing because I was walking down the music hallway in middle school and a teacher pulled me in and was like, we need a guy to be in this musical. And you play piano, so like I'm sure you can carry a tune.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then I got the part because I was the only guy.
Was that your introduction to music?
So I started like with piano lessons when I was really young. My parents signed me up for everything because I had to do everything.
Right.
And I'm very thankful that they did that. And I know how much of a privilege that was to grow up and have your parents be like, we'll pay for you to have lessons and we'll pay for this, like, you know, sign up for your local basketball league or whatever. So like super supportive in that route, like driving me to lessons, right?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
And but I hated it. I hated music lessons, and I hated music until I think it was like 8th grade. And I had this teacher, Mr. Gonsi. Shout out Craig Gonsi.
Shout out Craig Gonsi.
Yeah. He gave me this thing called a Chaosilator. It was like a touchpad synth. And every recess, I would go to his office and I would take it. And he kind of introduced me to like the idea of like, hey, you don't have to like play what's written here on the page. Like you can just make your own stuff.
Right. Like you can literally play, you know?
Yeah. And with like that was it. It was like game over.
Yeah. And about how old were you? You said there was a middle school teacher?
Yeah, it was about 8th grade. So
okay.
I don't know how old was 8th
13,
grade?
13, maybe 14. Yeah.
Yeah. And to that also, I say I'm really thankful that my parents forced me to go to those lessons because I was able to, at that point, had a skill level to be able to just be like, just play something. And
now, at this moment, did you believe you were gifted, or did you just think, oh, like everybody can do music? I just I just happen to have this new device here. Like, did you believe that you actually had something in you or not yet?
I think it's what made me feel different. You know, like I was the music kid in school.
Okay.
And so I liked that. I was like, oh, like I have like an identity, some value to provide, right?
Yeah.
In some sense. And once that gets unlocked, it's like it's hard to not be obsessed over it and like be like, oh, like I'm gonna
right here. I'm gonna be the best river.
And then you realize like it's that good.
Right. Then you meet somebody that's actually good, and you're like, I'm gonna just step it up. I'm gonna get back to those lessons.
I mean, I think it's good. I had one friend growing up, Jake Newmar, who I'm still friends with today, and we kind of had. I think a lot of people when you're doing music or sports, or whatever, you have your like rival, I guess. But we were like best friends.
Yeah.
But we did have this like, oh, like Jake just put out this really cool EDM song. Like now I have to learn how to make an EDM song.
Yeah, right.
But it was like great because I wouldn't have worked as hard.
It's probably more of like an iron sharpens iron dynamic, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like we were helping each other. Like he was teaching me how to use Logic, and I mean, it was you got to do that. That's
how long before you started writing songs?
I think my first song I wrote was I guess 8th grade or freshman year, and it was bad.
Everybody's first song is bad.
It was I found it the other day, and I was like, all right, it's not that bad. It's still bad.
Yeah,
it's still like I cringe, but I'm like, that's a cool chord structure that I'm maybe going to steal later.
It's not all bad.
Yeah, it's not all. There's like
you mine some gold out of there.
Where, I was like, okay, he's getting something. Something's happening here. And I also like remember the feeling of it, of just like, I have no idea where that came from.
Yeah.
you know? And you just pulled it out of thin air. I'm sure you've had that same feeling where it's like,
that was my next question. Like, do you write from discipline or do you write from inspiration? Like some people need to like wake up with a chord in their head or like a stanza, and then some people are like, I write every day at 9 a.m. You know,
both, because like I'll try and write every day a little something. It's not like necessarily a full song, but I think I'm just preparing for the day that the inspiration comes,
right?
So that I'm ready. To be like, oh, I know exactly what to do with this.
Yeah, I'd like to think it's like you're kind of cracking the door. You know what I mean? Like if I'm out watching Netflix, I'm probably not going to get inspired. But if I'm at the desk sitting there with a pen in my hand, even if it takes 30 minutes, I'd like to think something will kind of like creep in. So it is kind of like a discipline, inspiration cocktail, so to speak.
It is, because like at the same time though, like you could be watching that Netflix show and someone says something. Yeah.
The credits roll. You're like, that's a nasty chord.
I'm like, God damn it. That's the line.
Yeah.
And I was actually talking about this the other day. I was doing a virtual writing session with my friend Tyler Bank in Nashville. And we love to yap. We love to just chat. We chatted for a while during that session about really stupid stuff. Like we were talking about ice cream cake and how we just didn't understand the appeal. I know that's a hot take.
No, I'm with you, man. Not a fan. What are we doing?
You either want cake or you want ice cream. Why are we?
I want like square shaped ice cream. What are we doing?
No.
All right.
What are we doing?
Not to derail, but you know.
No, I'm glad you can understand that.
Yeah.
And from an outside perspective, that conversation looks like a huge waste of time. But I was working on the song again the next day, and I came up with this line that was cut a corner piece of mind, because I was thinking about ice cream cake. And the conversation we had before, and I was like, that's a fire lyric.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have gotten that if we hadn't been like goofing off. So it is this weird balance of like, you got to have the time for discipline, but you also have to like live your life and do silly things.
Well, I think there's an energy too, right? I think that the myth of like the starving artist is actually not quite like, I don't think you are very creative when you're struggling and your heart's broken or you're strung out or hungover. Like, I think you write the best when you do have great energy. Your relationships are good, you're healthy. Is there exceptions? Sure. I wrote a great song when I did a night in jail. But for the most part, like, I write the best songs when I'm, happy,
You still have to have like the tough moments, right? But I know for me, at least, I can't write about it until a few weeks after, till I process a lot of it, because I don't think there's a point of writing that song in that moment necessarily until I get a new perspective on it.
Yeah.
Because that's what the bridge is,
So smart. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I can't literally just recant what happened. Like, I actually need for it to happen, find a clever way to retell it when I'm in a different headspace. And that's when the good song happens.
And I do need to be like, I've been exercising all week. I'm taking care of myself. Like, I'm clear-headed to be able to look at this event that happened objectively.
Yeah.
In the moment, sometimes I'll take like a note or something, and it will be like really unhinged, but I always have to like balance it out with like the hinge.
Right.
Right. Like,
I have to balance it out with the hinge. Like,
I don't know, you're like writing a song, you're like really pissed at your partner,
right.
You're saying ridiculous things, and you're such an idiot in the moment,
Yeah.
Like, and then you still want to include that dirty, bad part of yourself that you're maybe not proud of showing, but you also have to be like, hey, like, I know I was an asshole.
Yeah.
At some point in that song.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just an asshole.
Right. Well, you also kind of got to let your ego dissipate, because I think the songs wrote in service of the art are better than art in service of the musician.
Wow. That is so true.
Like, when you write a song to prop yourself up, it's never, it doesn't really, but like, you have like that ego death. You're like, all right, I'm just going to give myself over to the art and write the best.
Yeah.
Like, what serves the composition the best. And that's when.
That's so true. And that's hard.
Yeah.
Right.
It is hard.
And that's what, like, in that album, I was like, I'm showing parts of myself that I'm not, I don't tell people about.
Right.
And I don't talk about, and I'm not proud to show. And but I need to not care, because at the end of the day, I am special, but I'm also not that special.
Yeah. I was going to say that. Yeah. I think you'll find more people are like you than not like you.
Yes. The thing is, you have to be vulnerable and just show up.
But that darkness, it's not even dark. It's not even like a dark project. It's just personal. But that's your competitive advantage, right? There's only one Matt Fell, right? The music sonically, it's good. I know, and that's good music on there. Take the lyrics out and the content. Compositionally, that's a really, really good album.
There's some bangers on
there.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, I think that's how you get hits, right? You don't go into the studio and be like, I'm going to write a hit. You write an experimental song that ends up being accessible. And then you're like, oh, somebody in Michigan relates to it. Somebody in California relates to it. Girls relate to it. Older men relate to it. That's how you get the hit,
That is exactly what I experienced when I played live. I think that was like, I had people coming up to me being like, I totally relate to this. And I'm like,
that doesn't even surprise me.
You're like an 18-year-old girl. Like, I don't. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make any sense to me, but it's a universal.
Right. Well, that's why I had such a hard time drawing a parallel to your sound. Like, you had a song that sounds like, do you remember like 2-3 years ago, all these like younger white R&B singers came out, but it was like this kind of cool song. It was like Rex Orange County, Role Model, Jesse Rutherford did a solo album. And I was like, dude, this is kind of like this like white boy R&B thing that's happening. It's kind of neat. Like, I like a lot of these tunes. You have songs that kind of sound like that sound like very modern, like stuff that came out like, like a year ago, but then you do have like that classic rock element, It's like a cool mix. Like
where it'll be like indie rock, and then it will be like I have a song like Breakfast,
Yeah.
where I'm just like,
I like
this
that
is
too.
all programmed drums,
Yeah.
like on a little one of these bad boys,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna swing it. It's not gonna be on the grid. It's very Dilla,
Yeah.
swung drum, but I'm gonna put like a 4-chord synth over top of it and sing over it and see what happens. I think that was like very like, you know, John Bellion had come out at that time too, and like I was like, oh yeah, like I love hip hop, I love R&B, I love indie pop and rock. When there's a way to make that come together, like in a way that doesn't feel forced or make like where it makes sense, I love that. And I feel like that's what happened with Breakfast, because I was like, this feels like I'm almost rapping a little bit. The way I wrote the lyric and like the internal rhyme of it.
Yeah. You were like in a pocket. I wouldn't call it rapping, but you were definitely like in the pocket. You know,
like there's a rhythm to
kind
it
of
where
serving,
I'm like
kind of serving up the lyrics instead of singing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like it felt very like, okay, this makes sense for the song. Like I don't want to, as a corny white boy, I never want to hop on a track and like, you know,
yes,
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I was like, don't do it on camera. Don't do it on camera.
Like I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna do that. And that's not where I'm gonna provide value here. All right? Like
I don't need an example. It's fine.
No, you're good. You're good. Just cut.
Yeah.
I was gonna cut that out.
I'm like, you can edit that part. Edit. Just
the thing was, I was about to do it, and thank God you stopped me. But yeah, you know what I mean. Like I think that's like I'm a huge fan of that. And if I can pick elements that I think are appropriate for me to use, then yeah. But I certainly know that there's a lot of things that I shouldn't.
You're right.
I'm not the voice for that. So, and that's why I love working with other people, right? Or it's like, if I'm working with like the Bull Bay, who's a great rapper in Philly area, which I don't know if you've talked to him yet. You should talk to him.
I'll reach out to him though, if you recommend.
Yeah. I can provide value to that project where I can go hard, like lean heavy into a hip hop beat that I've always wanted to make, right? But I shouldn't be the voice on top of that because I don't have anything to really say.
Okay.
On that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I did that. Well, I started out doing hip hop, and then like around like middle of my second album, I'm like this isn't really my story to tell anymore, you know?
Right.
And then I started incorporating like organic instruments, so it sounded more like I didn't really sound like myself until like 3 albums in. I was like, all right, that sounds like me, like who I am now.
And that is like, that's so awesome. First of all, because like I love an artist where you can track that journey.
Yeah.
Right. Like. You see something in the first thing and you're like, there's something there. I'm really excited to see like when they figure it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like
well, I think one thing that serves you well is that you're already like you went into that album as a fully formed artist, so you can kind of genre hop a little bit. Like until you're a fully formed artist and you kind of like you almost got to know the rules before you can break them, you know?
Yep.
Like if I'm a photographer and I'm like, all right, I know how to do color balance, white balance, lighting, everything. All right, now that I know how it all works, now I can break the rules and do something special, you know?
Yeah.
But if you don't really know, you know, you're still trying to figure out who you are, and then you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna do a rap at this part. All right, I'm gonna do like this operatic run. Now I'm gonna go do this R&B. You're like, who am I listening to? I don't really know who I'm listening to yet, you know?
Let me tell you, there are songs out there that exist that I hope no one finds.
Everybody has them buried in the second half of the album.
They were swiped from like I don't know if you can like.
I actually burned that hard drive
from the internet, but they are gone.
Yeah,
and you'd have to do some really good digging.
Yeah,
I think, but it does take failing, but at least you're trying, right? you have to try and you have to fail and you have to be like, I did this. It wasn't.
Right. Well, if not for anything else, just to get the data point. I tried this. Right. It didn't work. Now I can eliminate it as a choice.
Right.
You know?
And that data point doesn't even necessarily need to be like a number, right? Like it can just be a feeling, right? Yeah.
Like this doesn't feel right. I don't feel aligned when I'm doing this. And then you pivot. Right. All right, I feel comfortable doing this, but it's still a little okay. I feel exactly like myself and it feels effortless. I must be in alignment with who I am in the music and it works. All right, let me hang it over here, you know?
You're preaching right now.
Nah, man.
This is why I'm here.
No, I nerd out on this stuff, man. Like I love it. I'm like addicted to this stuff, man. Like creative process and like what works and
that's why I was saying to you, like, I love this podcast because I essentially get to have this conversation with every one of your guests without actually talking to them or meeting them.
Yeah.
You know, we're all having this conversation behind closed doors, right? And to have this publicly like accessible for people to like access and learn from and maybe disagree with. I don't know. It's just it's a lot of value.
Oh, thanks, man. That's what I hope, man. Well, I think the best part about it, because I was trying to do like a solo episode, and I was thinking about, and I didn't want it to be just like a pitch of like, or just like a cradle to grave story of like, here's when I started doing music. So I'm trying to think of like and I was trying to think of like what the value actually is in this show. And I was like, obviously for all the reasons you said, but I think it's like this unique opportunity for us to meet artists kind of on the way up. And that's how you fall in love with music. Like you hear music and like it, but when you really fall in love with an artist, it's because you caught them at like a formative part of your life or of their life. And I've already had the formative years of my life. I'm like, nothing surprises me anymore, except an artist on the way up in the formative part of their life. And I'm like, okay, well, like they might be a little bit older, but I met them here and now they're playing here. Like I met them here and now they have, 50,000 Spotify listeners and now they're playing at the Man or now they're headlining at Tower, and we all get there and we're all kind of in this together. We get to be teenagers together again.
Yeah. It is so cool to watch your friends and peers and that exact journey. Like I've seen it with friends of mine and it's like I get emotional almost because I'm like, I'm so proud. Like you've overcome so much. And it's like, also, if you can do it,
right?
I think I can do it, and hopefully someone listening to this podcast is like, oh man, like they're working through their struggles. If they can do that, maybe I can do that too. So
that's what we hope. Or they hear how good your album is and get completely intimidated and like, I can never make no joints like that.
I'm trying to get rid of the competition here. All right?
Yeah, I was like, I better go get a day job.
Yeah, come on.
Like, I ain't made nothing as good as Flashbulb Memories.
Come on. No, listen. Yeah. There's plenty more.
Yeah.
Better things.
No, I'm taken aback. Every time I think I've heard everything, somebody's like, hey man, I like your show, man. You mind if I come on and talk about my album? I was like, I'll give it a swing. And I'm like, I haven't even heard anything. Like, what is this? Like where does this even come from? And people have been blowing me away, especially lately, man. I'm like, I thought I heard everything,
I think it's a very exciting time to be making music.
Yeah. What do you think is the next genre wave, right? Like I feel like country had like a nice like 6-7 year run, and now something else is about, and I can't figure out what the next pop is going to be.
I think we're already seeing, and I'm fascinated with this kind of movement because it's kind of ebbed and flowed a little bit, but now I think it's like because Bieber took it, it's hitting its stride. Okay. It's like the McGee, Dijon.
That makes sense. You're not the first person to say that either. Mm.
Yeah, it's this room, right? The fact that I can make an album right here and it sounds like I made it right here. They're gone are the days, I think, are of like polished sheen production. I think people want to see the raw, gritty, like kind of shitty sounding things. They're listening
through
their phone, dude. Like,
absolutely,
they're not gonna hear this low end. Like, I'm sorry, like, it doesn't
like
matter.
I don't even think I don't think people are making arena records until you play in arenas.
100%. And what I think is really interesting is when an artist like McGee does play a large room, and you see video of that, and you're like
he looks like he's playing in a living room, but not. You're like, it's still intimate, but there's 20,000 people.
But like, it's still huge sound. Yeah, like, it still sounds huge.
Lumineers are like that. It's like there's 3 of them, and he's out in like the lawn with an acoustic guitar, and I'm like, I feel like I'm sitting in my living room with 35,000 people.
Yeah, I think there's no longer going to be what I would consider a mainstream artist.
I think so. You're nailed it. I don't think so either. Yeah. I think the biggest artists are in our rear view.
Yeah.
Like it'll be these tribal followings, you know. You'll put a whole bunch of people together, so you'll still sell out like a stadium. It'll be like 4 or 5 artists, you know. Somebody will break through, you know, or you'll get your legacy act that can still sell, 80,000 tickets. Your Taylors, your Post Malones, your Drakes, like
you hit that mainstream after album 4.
Yeah.
Now, because it's like now you need that. All that stuff.
Or it'll be like a white hot, like a pop. Like kind of like what Sleep Token did. Like Sleep Token doubled their Spotify listeners. Like they went from like something like 3 million to 6 million, something like that. I'll forget the number, but it was like overnight. And I remember going to get tickets and being like, I'll get tickets like next week. Emergence came out and it was like, oh no, tickets are now like $300. I was like, in a week? A week?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, this industry, this whole business is crazy.
Goofy.
And it's like, I'm really lucky. Like I've, met and Gradwell House is a great resource. If anyone's like looking to connect with people that have industry experience, go to the Gradwell House and just hang out.
Okay.
Like, you'll find someone.
Okay. What is Gradwell House? I don't know what that is.
So it's a recording studio over in Haddon Heights, New Jersey.
Oh, you talking about that?
I like recorded most of the stuff out of like any of the live instrument stuff is out of there. But there's a lot of like really cool session players that come through. Like I know, like I don't want to blow up anyone's spot, but basically really well-known session players.
Right, I believe it.
And it's cool to pick their brain and pick the brain of like an Alex G type person and kind of see that perspective of what's the way to be successful.
Right.
And is that even possible?
Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, speaking of being successful, I have to ask you, I know you got projects on the way. You got the single out. I'm sure you're going to chase it with some more music. As you're starting to build your following, what's the best way people can support you? Because people are going to hear you have such a rich story. Like I'm sure people are going to get off of this episode and want to come find you.
Yeah, I think I'm a pretty approachable person.
Yeah,
I answer every message.
Yeah, right.
I think that's the job of the artist too, is to be accessible to a degree.
Yeah.
There's some obviously like boundaries you don't cross.
Sure. Well, what's the best way to support you? Like if there was only one way to support you, share music. Do you have merch or anything?
I don't have any merch right now because again, working on figuring out how to be comfortable with my name on a t-shirt.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, just like, I don't know. Like, there's a part of me that's like, okay, this is a huge ego trip for me.
Yeah, I still haven't come to grips with, putting my name on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I so feel you, dude.
It's just...
Yeah, people are like, are you going to get merch for the show? I'm like, oh, put the show's name on a t-shirt?
To plaster my face on it, man, it's just like, I don't even have a good enough face to be plastered anywhere.
Yeah, we get you a logo, man. Get you a mascot.
Yeah, we need like a good graphic designer to do something.
Like the Matt Feld toucan or something. You'd be like the gorillas.
Yo, that's
like,
actually
like how Damon Albarn
dude,
just has like the 4 cartoon characters.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm selling Madfell cereal with the Madfell toucan.
Let's go
at shows.
Come
write
on,
this shit down.
Write it down. I want a piece. I need a royalty. I feel like that was partly my idea.
Loops, man.
rebrand boxes of Fruit Loops.
It's rebranded.
Oh my God,
I'm just flipping
funny.
Boxes of Fruit Loops at my shows.
Let's go. Oh my God, dude, I had a ball, man. I know we're getting that down on time, and I want to respect yours, bro. Yeah, totally. I had such a ball talking to you, man. Like I felt I can't believe I just like met you a few days ago. We were talking on the phone on the prep call, and if anybody knows, like I do a prep call before I start, and I connected with Matt, listened to his music. You would have thought I known him for 15 years. I mean, we were talking, laughing. I'm like late to stuff. I'm at to like just got lost in it. So I mean, this is truly an incredible. He would never tell you himself, but he's truly an incredible artist. Please, front to back that Flashbulb Memories album. You will not regret it.
Thank you, man. And same sentiment to you. I'm like, and I think that's just like the creative person, right? Like we all actually we've known each other for a while.
Yeah.
You know, because we've all been through it. Yeah. Like I'll say something, I'm like, I get it.
Yeah, you get it.
I'm like, and you say something, I'm like, I get it.
Right.
I've been there.
Yeah, man. Well,
and,
yeah, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You too, man. Well, best of luck to you. And hey, the rest of you, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, liked what you heard, please tell somebody who loves music.